Hi guys, so this is Rialheim's very first podcast, and we are so excited to bring to you the beautiful Tanya Bothma that we are visiting with today. She is the first woman to be, she's the first South African to have a double lung transplant in a state hospital, and we are so excited to share her story with you guys today. Tanya, your story is one of resilience and hope. And can you take us back to when you first realized you needed a double lung transplant? And what about your journey now?
So I think one of the things that you don't realize when you have a chronic illness is that how sick you are. I think you're so used to having less breath, less energy, and your body just learns to adapt somehow. It's amazing what your body can actually do. So I was in hospital, most winters when infections flared up, and then summers. And I was under an amazing pulmonologist, Dr. Johan Panorama. And he saw that my lung function started declining. My infections got worse. I was more in hospital than at home, basically. And he called me in and said, guys, I think we need to think about a double lung transplant. And I looked at my hubby and I was like, am I that sick? Like, you don't realize how, that's why I say you don't realize how sick you are because you just adapted to everything in life. And he told us about these two amazing doctors that started the lung transplant unit at Groote Schuur in 2017 and how they'd gone over to Austria and Sydney and were training all about double lung transplants. I mean, just got to know everything about double lung transplants. And they were Prof. Greg Calagaro and Prof. Tim Pennell. And Dr. Johan said, right, I'm making the appointment for you guys. And I'm telling you now, since the day that I got that appointment, my life changed. Everything changed. We were put through an immense lot of tests. Like, every test that you can think of, I went through. You go through psychological evaluation. You go through scans, abdominal and chest x-rays, mammograms, reflux tests. So they basically know everything about you before you're even on the table. Blood tests. There's so many blood tests because it's cross-matching. It's antibody tests. They assume that you and your donor are compatible. Finding out what blood group you are. Checking to see how big your ribs are. Because it's all about, at the end of the day, for especially a double lung transplant, it's all about the size of your lungs and your blood group at the end of the day. And then, I think I had the transplant for my family, for my little girls. I lost my brother in the year of my transplant. And I knew that my parents couldn't leave me as well. And neither could my little girl. She was 9 at the time. I was 38 when I had my first transplant. So I did it for my little girl. I did it for my husband. I did it for my family. And Groote Schuur became a beacon of hope for us. And I had my little family because of these amazing doctors at Groote Schuur and the amazing transplant team. They were just absolutely amazing. I just felt that I was never able to be a mother to Daniela. I was never able to be one of those mothers that could run after Daniela, that could do what every other mother could do. Take her to the shops, go to hockey games, little things that other people take so for granted. I wasn't able to do. I couldn't be a wife to my husband, not a proper wife in any case. I didn't feel that I could do what I was supposed to as a wife. I couldn't be a friend to my friends because I was always sick or always had to give an excuse. I couldn't be a sibling to my sister. I couldn't be a daughter to my parents. So transplant changed us all. It wasn't just me. The transplant changes your whole family, your whole community. And that's what my organ donor did for me. She is my hero.
Did you ever know who your organ donor was? Or?
No, we're not allowed to know how organ donors are.
Okay, well, that's actually interesting.
Yeah.
And then you often speak about, obviously, organ donor, and you gave you a second chance at life. What does that second chance obviously mean to you?
So, a lot. Like I said, I wasn't able to do many things for my family. And I was finally able to be a mother to Daniela. I was able to go to hockey games. I was able to pick up from school where I relied so much on my parents. I was able to be a wife, make my husband lunches. He wasn't able to concentrate on work and not worry about, sure, if Tanya's sick, what happens to her? Or what happens to Daniela? And I was able to be a friend again to friends. And I was able to go to gym. I used to see these women go to gym and think, wow, I wish that was me. And I was able to do that. Because you have to keep your lungs fit. You have to keep fit after the transplant. And I think going to gym and doing a little Optimus race, that was a wow factor for me. Yes. So that was like, I could conquer the world after that. I had my friends and my family cheering me on for the first time ever. And I felt exhilarated. I felt, like I said, I could conquer the world. I felt belonging. Absolutely. I just felt I could do something and mean something to the community. And I promised the Lord, if He gave me that second chance, I would give back. And I create awareness around organ and tissue donation. And I raise funds for Groote Schuur Lung Transplant unit. And I do that for the patients. I don't do that for the hospital. I do that so that the patients, when they go to the hospital, have a source of income. That you go and see the doctor twice in a week for the first month. You go for blood tests. You need accommodation. You need food. You need a very strong support group. You have the transplant. It's not just about an operation. It's life-changing. So you need a support group and your mind. That's why they do a psychological evaluation.
I actually wanted to ask about the psychologically. Obviously, that is quite making a big march within yourself, innerly, but like going out life again.
Yeah, you have to be mentally prepared. You have to, like I say, I think your support group is the biggest support that you will need. And that's why I also do the fundraising, is to get loved ones to come and support their loved ones again in ICU and help them fight. Because it's not an operation.
No.
It's,
and you can't fight alone
no,
the day.
No, you can't.
Need everyone to fight with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and also you said you are now back on the waiting list for another transplant. How are you processing this chapter of your life, looking back on where you were and going forward into this new, it's basically a new chapter, but you are quite familiar with the journey up ahead.
Yeah. I think any transplant patient never wants to hear those words, rejection. And when I was told that I had chronic rejection, which is bronchiolitis obliterans syndrome. So I think what I forgot to mention initially was I had bronchiolitis obliterans before I had my transplant.
Oh, okay.
And then the chronic rejection, so you get two types of rejection. You get acute rejection and you get chronic rejection. And chronic rejection, like I said, is bronchiolitis obliterans syndrome. And you get that after transplant. It's basically the narrowing of the small airways. They basically get scarred and fibrosis forms around those airways. So eventually you just can't breathe anymore. So I think, like you said, I've been through it before. And I always said, if I needed another transplant, I would have another transplant. I would fight. I would fight again because I know what's expected of me. And I know the positive thing is I know what the medication is all about. In the beginning, the medication caught me. So I know now that my body will not go through that again. Yes, the dosages might be different. And the hallucinations, I don't have that now because I'm not on that medication. So there are a few things, but I know what to expect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I know what it's like not to breathe. And I now know what it is to be able to breathe. And to be able to do things I could never do before. And now with the cardiac rejection, I'm slowly going back to that. I can't do anything I did before. Everything is in much slower pace. For instance, I can't tie my shoes or put my socks on when I get out of breath. I can't climb the stairs because I get out of breath. I can't bend over. I get out of breath. So everything's just much slower. So yes, I'll do it again to be able to feel what I did after transplant. Because I think people take breathing for granted.
And it's exactly as I said the other day. I was also just thinking about this little thought as I was doing still time, and it came to this thing out about gratitude. I really do try at least 5 things in the morning when I wake up, just to wake up with 5 things that I'm grateful for. Because there's all these little things that you really do take for granted, and you just take living as a given. And that is really like, you inspired me so much. It's really your stories. It's really like, we need to be more thankful. And I think the world will be a better place if everyone is just a little bit more thankful. And just take gratitude with everything. And as you said, just to be able to breathe is not a given. No. Each day is basically a gift.
Absolutely.
And we need to take it for that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these beautiful lung vases of yours. Yes. You purchased the lung vases from Rialheim. What drew you to this specific piece?
Sure. The lungs, of course. A friend actually sent a picture to me, and I was like, where do I buy these? I buy them now. And I immediately went onto the online store, and I bought 2 bars. It's not just one, I bought 2. So yeah, I absolutely love them.
Oh, we are so glad. And it's also just tying in the whole story, and we are so glad that we can be actually a part of this emotional connection to you. And we really want to grant you hope for everything that is going forward. And do know that we are standing behind you and that we are also praying.
Thank you very much.
So grateful for you at the end of the day to just be that little fighter that you are.
Thank you.
So, how did it feel when you first held one of these lung vases?
Oh my word.
Knowing that, obviously looking at it, but knowing the symbolism that it carries.
I think literally my lungs skipped a beat.
Oh.
I think because I couldn't believe that somebody could actually think about making something so beautiful and that life actually exists. Lungs
Out of your body.
Yeah, exactly. But they're so beautiful, and lungs are so beautiful. And obviously you can't do it without lungs. But that life actually exists, and just portraying it through art, I think is just, it's just wow, it's just so amazing.
So you've been an advocate for creating meaningful conversations around organ donation, and do you see art and storytelling as a powerful way for us, obviously, to raise awareness around that?
Yes, absolutely. I think art and storytelling are the most powerful ways to create awareness around organ donation. I think art in itself expresses words that nothing else can. I think it makes people stop, makes people think. I think empathy can be given from that. And I think with the storytelling, it's not about, it goes beyond facts and statistics, my story. And I think my story kind of humanizes conversation. It's real. It brings a raw and human side to what it's like to be on the transplant list, having had the transplant and going back to being on the transplant list again. And it's not just, organ donation is not just a medical term anymore. it's about a person. It's about, and not just about the recipient. It's about hope. It's about the family. It's about the community. And it's not just about saving a life. Some people don't get the opportunity to get saved, but it gives hope. And I think art and storytelling just bring that just more to light. Yeah.
Actually, more a statement to what is being told. A statement piece to what is being told.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the importance of organ donation awareness. And so many people don't realize how critical organ donation is until it touches their lives. What message do you wish more people will understand about this?
I really hope that people realize that organ donation is not just about saving a life. It's about giving somebody a second chance at life again. And it's about being a hero, leaving a legacy. It's a selfless gift by a complete stranger, and they saving you. I, as a recipient, am so grateful to my organ donor. I just can't thank her enough for what she's given me. She's given me an amazing gift. And I think that it's the last act of kindness that you can give someone. And like I said, you're not just giving it to me. You're giving it to my family. You're giving it to the community. So please, don't wait until it hits you close to home. Have that conversation now. Talk about it now. Because for people like me, it's real.
And it's actually, as you said, like that last act of kindness. It's with someone else's last breath, it can be someone else's first breath.
Oh, absolutely. And don't breathe every time, okay?
There's a study that actually combine that two so clearly more than you can do something up until the last breath of you is given. And that is what actually drew me to being an organ donor myself.
Yeah.
So I've been actually thinking about it so much the past few years, and I'm a well-fit, young, athletic woman. Why would I want something to die with me if I can give it life to someone else? So I'm a very big understand of that, to do something like when you can give out most. And when you're not even being able to give to yourself anymore, why not give to someone else? So, and that is what pushed me to sign up and to be a proud organ donor as I'm sitting here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your stories like yours. It's also inspiring a lot of people. And I think this with my is obviously to reach also a lot of hearts and a lot of people to start talking about it, because I do think that it's not a well-known topic, especially in South Africa, that's been talked about to younger generations, people that are able to make this choice still, and just to take that sort of make that change.
Yeah.
There's often hesitation around signing up as an organ donor. What would you say to someone who is unsure in becoming one?
I think I do understand the hesitation behind it. And I do get it. I've had so many people come to me and say they feel that their loved ones, and this is how they say it to me, and it's a terrible way of thinking about it, but they come to me and they go, but my loved one's going to be chopped up. And it's nothing like that at all. It's so far from the truth. I've experienced it firsthand. My brother, like I said, passed away the year of my transplant.
Sorry.
And I went to go view his body, and he was an organ donor, and he looked so peaceful lying there. They had taken, so he died in a power paragliding accident, so he wasn't able to give any organs, but he was able to give tissue. And you can save up to 7 people by just giving an organ, and you can help up to 50 people by just donating tissue. Will help up to 50 people and 7 people by giving an organ. So my brother was able to help 26 other people by just giving tissue. And when he lay there, he looked.
Interesting, 26 lives. And it's only
Yeah,
one life.
yes, exactly. He helped 26 people. So he didn't save, but he helped. By just giving tissue, heart valves, bones, corneas. So when he lay there, he looked so peaceful. You would never have thought that, they had taken tissue, skin, for instance, is also, tissue that they can take.
Yeah.
So, he looked so peaceful. This is what I want to tell people. They respect the person that's giving life. They give so much respect and dignity, and they know what this person's giving. They know this person is giving life. So no, it's I think that's the misconception behind organ donation. And if we can just get that out to people, no, it's going to be respectfully done and in a dignified way.
No, I definitely do agree with you. So, how can South Africans get involved in supporting organ donation, or are there specific initiatives or organizations? I know that you speak about Groote Schuur, or your organization is standing for Groote Schuur. So, how can we tap into that?
So, I think the first thing that people need to do is have that very tough conversation. Talk to your loved ones. Tell them what your wishes are when you pass. And the reason you need to do this is because the South African donation rates are so low. I think it's like 0.2%.
Yeah.
And transplantation is the last resort to life. So there are or organizations out there that help with this. There is hope. The ODF, for instance, the Organ Donor Foundation, they have a national donor registry, and in that database is the most important information about your donor and the next of kin. So when the transplant coordinators have to approach the families, it just makes that conversation a little bit easier because they know that their loved ones wanted to donate. And then there are other amazing organizations as well, like TEL and Save 7, and they start the conversation of organ donation.
Yeah.
And there aren't enough transplant coordinators here. So our country is not like Spain, for instance, where there are transplant coordinators, transplant teams in every province. Like the problem is we only have transplant teams in Western Cape, Gauteng, Natal. Whereas in Spain they have in every hospital.
Yeah.
So please sit down and have that conversation about organ donation because it is so urgent. And as you heard by the numbers, I think there are like 4,000 people on the list waiting for transplant.
No, that's crazy. Yeah. And then obviously you talk about the great optimistic optimist race that you did. So what keeps you motivated, and how did you actually get to the point to enter to this race, and how did you tell us about your journey about that?
I think I did it. You asked me who motivates me.
No, like what keeps you motivated?
Oh, what keeps you motivated?
What motivated you to actually partake in this race?
I think people waiting on the transplant list. I wanted to raise my voice for those that can't. I want people out there to know about organ donation. I want people to know that it's, like I said, it's not just saving a life, giving somebody a second life, a second chance. So it wasn't just about the bird race, like I said. It was just voicing or amplifying my voice for those that cannot. Just be a hero.
Giving a voice for the voiceless.
There we go. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, I love that initiative, and I think the biggest thing that I see around you is just this little fighter.
I try. I do try. I think the time is
touching lives, and I know that like it's difficult, and I don't know it's not always just going downhill. Because I feel that as well.
Yeah.
But from our side, we can just say, just keep fighting.
Thank you.
And we will breathe for you.
Thank you.
So tell us how Bright Out Rialheim can and our community support your business and your journey going forward.
I think I'm only one person. So I'm only one voice. And I think if you guys, your brand and the community, we stand together, I think more lives can be saved. Because amplify, by getting together, amplify the message. And what I mean by that is help share my message, help share my story, help create awareness around organ and tissue donation, help break that stigma that people have around organ donation, and then collaborate on creative campaign, whether it be art, design, a product. Help us to raise funds for the Groote Schuur Lung Transplant Unit. Help us create awareness around organ donation. And then lastly, host awareness and fundraising events where we can create this beautiful space where we can talk about organ donation and people can ask questions and people can learn and really motivate people or wanting people to be a woman. So that's what I think. If we all get together, we can, like I say, try and save more lives.
Make a difference. Lastly, if you could leave our listeners with one thought or a message, what could it be?
Be a hero. Leave a legacy of life. If a legacy of life, hope, and love. And I love this quote by Nick Vujicic. If you can't get a miracle, then be that miracle.
Sure. Thank you so much, Tanya, for sharing this amazing journey. And I really do think that sharing this with our community and creating this awareness, you really use this platform to create awareness around organ donation and what it is and what it is all about and how to save lives going forward. But really, thank you so much for letting in to your home and into your story and into this amazing journey that you've walked. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
The path going forward and the journey being forward. But we really, really do love the fight in you.
Thank you.
Love what you are doing at the moment. And I think there's a lot of lives that you're going to touch without even knowing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
much. Share your story. And thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.